Welcome to another time-lapse model build. This one is of S-Cool Bus, a model by Tom Daniel. Let's go back several years, way back when this model first came out in 1971, I think, or 73. Let me see. I think that makes me, well, I was 12 or 13 years old when I first picked this one up. So somehow or another I ended up with two of these. Apparently I had one stored away, did not know I had it, and went and ordered another one. And these particular S-Cool buses are, well, this one would be a second release, because the really cool thing that these do not have is with the first release, the windows, if I remember correctly, were tinted orange, and they had these caricature school kids drawn in the windows, and they were rather humorous and funny. This build went really well. It's a Monogram model, of course it did, except for the human element. Me, senile old man that I am, did not read part of the instructions thoroughly through. That was my bad. That was because I got distracted and very laser focused on doing the engine wiring for this model, which obviously does not come with it. If you do any customization of models, you know that if you want ignition wiring, you're on your own. The distributors for this one were rather small, and a lot of different customizers like to put the distributors just all in one hole in the top of the distributor and then run the wirings out. I like to make mine actually look more like a distributor if I can get away with it. And oh, by the way, if you have not noticed, that this video is actually shorter too, because I did a lot of a preliminary painting without videoing it, because I didn't think it was really necessary. So most of that was 80% out of the way, and then I focused mainly on the build. Back to the distributor. I have some old pieces of plastic parts from some tanks, and they are basically tank hubs, and those things actually make really cool looking distributors. My only problem was whenever I built the distributors onto the engines, well, putting them on top of the existing distributor made them too high. So I ended up having to pull one off and cutting it down, and I even cut down the other one, which I really didn't need to that much, but I did. Now, you're about to see my major mistake right here. I was okay up until this point, but then I went too far. I'm measuring out the distributor wiring. That was okay there too, and I've actually already done that, and I attached them. Now this is where I needed to stop. I needed to stop right there, because at that point I should have attached the upper frame to the lower frame, because once you put the exhaust pipes and the headers on it, it doesn't fit. Well, actually it may have fit. I don't think it would have, but it may have without the customization. But with the customization of that on there, it did not fit and was not going to fit. But fortunately, I've done stuff like this in the past. the upper frame was made in such a way that I was able to do a frame customization of it. That's a fancy way of saying I cut 4 sections out of the side inside railing part to get my engines to fit through the hole, and then seaming it all down. Right there, I'm customizing the slicks, trying to get that seam out. That was the only really bad thing about this model, is the 2/2 slick system. They're big tires, they look cool, they come with a wrinkle in them, but unfortunately it's in 2 halves, and it's really hard to get the seam out of it. It's just difficult to do. Even with as much sanding as I did on it, the seam still kind of is there. Not as visible, but. So there I am. Oh, there you go. Whoop, it does not fit, no matter how much I wiggle, twist, turn, and everything. So I marked it off and then went to work on it. Pair of wire cutters, just cut it in pieces out the sections that I needed, and use the X-Acto knife to mark it so that it would, come shaved off the edges so that it was at least a little smoother. Not really that visible. I should have cut out the notches for the front part of the bus too, because there I am getting ready to think. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, putting on the lights, the chrome plated lights. This is going to go rather quick here in a minute until I get to the decals. The decals were, well, they did not want to release too well. I was really proud of the paint job on this. For not being a pro painter, the paint job was satisfactory for me. Trust me, this bus looks way better than the one I built at 12 or 13 years old, because there was like absolutely no painting on it at all. So it was just like straight out of the box build, and that. Okay, coming up on the end of the decals here, and then we will show off a few pictures that I took of it. And wow, that'll be the end of this video. I got it down to under 10 minutes, so kind of like that. Oh, I had a little wife in the background there. I thought my doggie's head would be in the video, because she came up. There we go, zoomed in. There it is. There's the picture, and here's another good picture, and angle picture, another good back section picture, a little blurry but not too bad. Opened up the thing so the motor could show through. Hey, thanks for watching the video.